I just had this weird thing where I was like camera shy. I don't know why. I've already recorded, I think, 3 or 4 of these. And it doesn't make any sense. Why would I be camera shy? It's not like I can take back the thing. I guess I could. I guess I could delete the videos. I don't know, but it was just like, oh no, what if I get judged? What if whatever? And I'm like, what? What am I talking about? You know? It doesn't make any sense. Because it's like, I've already done these, and I've already seen people do these, and if I just stop, then, you know, what did I gain from it? If I let the anxiety take over, what good comes out of that, I guess? And we're starting off on a super fun, light point of anxiety, apparently, and that's awesome. It's currently 9:16 on May 13th, 2020. This is my podcast, Thoughts at 9, and if you're new, hello, and if you're not new, also hello. I don't do extra greetings. Apparently, I just say hello twice because that's who I am. And if you don't believe me, then if you don't believe that's who I am, then that's too bad for you because that's who I am. So, you know, I don't know what to tell you. My brain has been blank like all day. I've just been watching movies. I had to watch a movie for English where I was like, "Oh, you read this book, and so you have to like watch a movie with these certain themes and relate to it or like compare them and whatever." And I did that, and the movie I watched was a movie that my brother really wanted me to watch. It was The Godfather, and that's pretty good. It's like 3-hour movies. It's a 3-hour movie, not multiple. I guess if you count the different parts, then it's multiple. But I only watched the first part. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, but it took us like 6 hours to watch it. Because we kept having stupid technical issues, and then I had to go somewhere. And then we had more technical issues, so I had to keep doing things to try and fix the technical issues. Because, you know, all hail the suck of technology, I guess. I don't know. I had an experience where someone said that, probably the only person who watches all of these, was like, he was like, he has an ASMR podcast. He was talking to someone else. And I was like, I don't think it's ASMR. This would be bad. But ASMR second channel, though? No, I'm just kidding. I don't have the patience to do that. And I don't have the audio quality to, like, make it sound good. I would just do what I generally do, and I don't think this is the best idea. But I don't know. I don't really know how to edit audio. I need to watch more videos on it. It stresses me out because I constantly think about things I need to do instead of just doing them. So I'm just constantly stressed out because I'm like, oh no, I need to do this, I need to do this, and I need to do this. That's like, whatever. So I'm always stressed out. So I always have, like, instead of focusing on one thing, I'm thinking of many things I need to do, you know? And it's like, it's not fun. So I just constantly overwhelmed, and then I just shut down due to the overwhelming stress that I give myself. And I'm like, well, that sucks, you know? Just like, I want to finish this video, but then it's like, I'm already on my computer. I could play video games. And it's like, I should just finish this video. But for some reason, I don't. I just can't focus. And it's just pissing me off because it's like, I need to finish this video. This is something I need to finish. And the more it drags on, the more I hate it, and the more I want to redo it, and the more I think it's not interesting or whatever. And it's like, I just need to release it because there are some good stuff in there, you know? I don't know. I've been thinking about maybe scrapping it and, you know, doing something else. But I think it's fine just to get it off my back, just so I can start doing things I want to do again. Like, I want to start streaming after I post the video. So I should probably just post the video as soon as possible without, you know, well, I guess as soon as possible, not rushing it, I guess. It is super hot in my room, and I hate it because I can't open my windows right now because it's currently raining. And while there might not be like a whole lot of rain, you know, or that comes into my room, there's still a lot of moisture, and I don't want that moisture like going into my electronics because that would be bad. And I spend a lot of money on my computers and stuff, and I don't want to redo that. Yeah. Sorry, I got sidetracked by thinking about different things. Dude, freaking Twitter today was being an idiot, and I hated it. It was like, there were like several things. There was like rip capitalism, and then it was like K-pop stans are over, and then some politics. Dude, I just hate Twitter. I hate Twitter trending. I just like it because then I can tweet out my random thoughts that sometimes are funny and sometimes are just horrible, and then I delete them later because I'm like, this isn't funny, and so I delete it. But anyways, I just hate it because it's like it's just inherently toxic. Everything trending is usually politics or toxic or both, you know. And it's like I just wanna have fun, you know. I just want to vibe on Twitter. But then there's also a thing where it's like I can't follow any celebrities I like, you know, because then it's like you don't want to actually, especially the ones that are just basically just talk about politics. It's just like, oh, it's like I don't care. I don't care about politics. It's like I don't care about your views on stuff. It's like I want to do the things I know you from, which isn't realistic, but it's just like pretty much how everyone. I don't see how everyone, but that's definitely how I see celebrities. It's like do the thing that you did in the movies. Not necessarily like if you're Captain America or whatever, like save people, but like I guess act that certain way and whatever. I don't know. It's irrational and stupid. But like speaking of celebrities, it's like Mark Hamill is like really is really cool because you can tell like before the release of like The Last Jedi, he's just like subtly trashing on Disney and the Force Awakens and then The Last Jedi. You can just tell he's just like trashing them. I was watching a video that was like 20 minutes long, and it's just different clips of Mark Hamill just saying things that are like very subtly like this movie is bad. And it's just funny watching it because you're just like, why is this how was he able to get away with this? I guess just because he's Mark Hamill, you can get away with anything. It's like whatever. No, as long as he doesn't breach contract. But he went on this rant where like someone was like, he started ranting about just because a movie is successful doesn't mean it's good. And he started ranting about like The Force Awakens and like it made a lot of money. That doesn't mean it's successful. And then like halfway through, he's like, wait a minute, this is recorded. Whoops. And it's just funny because it's like you can tell like how he feels about Star Wars. Especially now I was reading an article where he was like I'm not needed anymore. And it's like, and he's like, if I am stick around, it's like I better be used in creative vices, you know, because if I'm just used the same way over and over again, it's like that's not interesting. And it's like then it's just I'm a crutch instead of, you know, compelling force like at the beginning, like in the original trilogy. And I'm like, oh, that's true. That's another thing. People always just fall into like creative, like potholes, I guess, where like something is creative originally, but then the more they like, I guess, dig from that creativity, that creative idea, I guess, they just get deeper and deeper, and then it's just not cool anymore because you just see more and more of it. And like it's like for the 7th movie, I don't care that freaking whatever does whatever, you know. You're just like, I want some new stories. It's like I like Star Wars a lot. There's a lot of potential because it's literally a gigantic universe, so you can pretty much tell any story you want to tell. But it's like it's just used the same way, and Luke is just like, I'm a Jedi. And I like The Last Jedi because of that, because it's like, oh, he's a hardened Jedi, like he's lost faith in everything. And I think that's cool. Not a lot of people liked it. Obviously there's problems with the movie, and I have problems with the movie. But I think it's cool that like it tried to do something different instead of doing what J.J. Abrams did. Well, ending up what he did twice. He basically just made the same movie. You're like, okay. And I think the 8th one kind of hits the same beats as well as the 5th one, if you think about it at certain times. But it's not as as obvious as especially the 7th one, but also the 9th one. I never want to watch the ninth Star Wars movie again. I probably will at some point, but like currently, it's like I need at least 1 year break from watching that movie to watching it again, because it just pissed me off to no end, and it doesn't make any sense. The resolution doesn't make any sense because there's no actual peace. There's no balance, because the balance is either there's Sith and there's Jedi, because then it balances each other out with Force, right? Or there's no Jedi and no Sith, so there's balance because there's none of it. But some reason it's just like Rey kills Kylo goes to the light side and then dies, and then Emperor Palpatine is dead. So spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it. Whoops, it's on Disney Plus. Disney Plus is like $5, and I think there's a free trial. So if you really wanted to watch it, you could have. But it's like how do how is that balanced? And then she comes out with a new lightsaber, and she's like Skywalker, and it's like, why? You didn't even. It's like he was a jerk. The only Skywalker. I guess you knew Leia Skywalker as well. So I guess Luke wasn't the only Skywalker you knew. I don't know. I've gone off and I've rambled. I've been rambling about Star Wars, but it's just I really like most of the movies, and I really like the universe, and I like at least the Clone Wars show. Rebels has some decent stuff in it, and I will refuse to watch Resistance, because Resistance is not good. Like by literally everyone. Everyone looks at it and is like, why is this a thing? And I will refuse to watch it. Because literally the examples I just gave you. I don't know. I think it'd be cool to make some Star Wars media, but if I ever was offered, I'd have to have like a set thing. Like I'd have to have like, okay, there's either a gimmick that makes it interesting, or there's something that makes it interesting other than a rehash of the movies or whatever. And something I'd really like to see is either a Jedi going better than Anakin. I think a TV show would be better at that, because you can only really show things through movies. Like, granted, they are pretty long because each of them are like 2, so it's like 6 hours of Anakin going bad. But I think if there was a TV show, it'd be more than 2 hours or 6 hours. And you would get to see slow, gradual things. And I think Rebels tried to do that in 3rd season. But it was kind of a thing for like 3 seasons or 3 episodes of season 3. And then it just kind of, like, nothing happened from it. And it was just stupid. Because you're like, dude, you had so much potential with this season to get Ezra really close to the dark side. But instead, you just have like this thing where it's just like, oh, I'm becoming a Sith because I'm opening this Sith holocron and learning from it. And then his master was like, no, and he's like, too bad. But then the master takes the holocron, and that's literally all that takes place, that entire thing. And it's like, I don't hate the TV show. It's just boring now. It's like I'm making my way through it, but currently I'm not making it at the breakneck speed, breakneck pace that I was going when watching the first one, or the first 2 seasons. But I don't know. I watched a lot of Star Wars. I've been really engrossed in Star Wars recently. Another thing I've been getting back into, because I stopped reading the Boys comics. But another thing, I'm trying to read them again. I'm on like issue 28, 27, something like that. And I have quite a few to go. I have like 50 more of the actual series to go, but then I also have like the mini-series. There's like 3 mini-series that I think are all 6 issues. So I need to get through those. So I have like 68. One away from greatness. But yeah, so it's like 68 more issues to go before I finish this comic, and I really like it. And I've already read like I said, like 27 or something. And I really want to finish it because it just keeps getting more and more interesting. and they keep adding more plots. Like, okay, so the way it works is there's like different arcs, right? So like there's like, well, it was originally every 4 issues would be one arc, and then it would go to a different arc. But currently, I think it's at 6, and I think that's kind of where it stays for the rest of the comic. But whatever, it's like each one has a different arc, and they keep getting interesting. It's not like one is more boring than the other ones. It's just you keep getting more and more engrossed. And you kind of get the world building at a certain point, because it's like, oh, everyone's despicable, so it's just people doing despicable things more and more, and you're like, I kind of get it at this point. But it's also really cool about how he uses it, and like the characters who are like even decent just kind of stand out, and that's kind of cool. Because you're just like, this comic creator had like a weird viewpoint on life. If you could make something where like you make literally everyone diabolical, except for, you know, a couple people who are not even really good, but they're either anti-heroes or just kind of decent, you know. And you're like, well, that sucks. But I think it's cool because the Boys comic talks about, it's like anti-heroes, not anti-heroes, so heroes who aren't actually heroes. They're like, it's basically like if Marvel, like if Captain America acted like a good guy. Well, I guess it's more based off DC. So it's like if Superman was acted like a good guy in public, and he was a much more public figure, like basically a celebrity who gets like a whole bunch of his money off of merchandise and stuff. But like they're really in the spotlight, but they act nice on camera and stuff, and they do good deeds, but they're like genuinely like horrible people. Like they act horrible and they treat everyone horrible, like who's close to them and stuff like that. And you're like, this is really cool. It's a cool perspective on everything. And then the Boys are like, they don't pretend that they're good, but they pretend that they're doing what is good, I guess. They're not good people, but they're trying to do what is good, because they're trying to like get rid of the superheroes because of like the two-faced people that they are. So I think anyone could read it. Like anyone who can deal with mature stuff like should read it. And it's very interesting, especially because now we have this oversaturation of superhero media. And this kind of took, I think the first issue released in 2006, so it was 2 years before Iron Man came out, and then like quite a few years before like superhero craze took off in the mainstream. So it's cool how you kind of see this perspective, and you're like, from people who like actually know comics, instead of just like slapping something on where it's like, well, they were this way in the movies, but they didn't have the movies. Like, you can tell this person is very educated on like comics and stuff, and then thinks about like the darker side, like what if they were like this? And then you're kind of just sitting there like, dude, that's awesome. And I honestly don't really remember what I'm talking about anymore. I mean, I know what I'm talking about, the Boys, but I don't know if any of this is cohesive or just like if everyone has stopped following what I'm talking about. But basically what I'm just saying is it's cool to find in this, especially in this not oversaturated, but very saturated market of superhero films, you get to see this second perspective of this is what it could be like. And I think that's what got my friend into it, because it's what he told me about the Boys comics, and he was like, you should read this. And I was like, all right. And it took me a while to actually read it, but then I started reading it. Yeah, I started reading it, like there was like a COVID Humble Bundle, and it was like $30, and there was like a whole bunch of games that I really wanted, so I bought it. And then I realized that it came with like PDFs of books or of some comic series or whatever. And then so I was like, hey, look, the Boys are here. the boys are here. Anyways, I realized it's like, oh, hey, like, I might have to bleep that out. I might have to bleep out his name. But it's like, oh, hey, this guy told me to read this, and it's like, now I have access to it, and it's like literally right there, and it's free, And so it was the first volume, so it was the first 6 issues. Might have been first 8. No, I think the first arc was... No, I think it was... Okay, so it was the first 2 arcs, because the first arc is 2 issues, and then the second arc is 4 issues. So yeah, it was 6 issues, and I read all of them, and then I got hooked, so I've been reading them on a website. So thank you. You know who you are, who recommended it to me. I highly doubt you watch these, because I doubt you even know of this existence. But thank you for recommending it to me. It's increasingly getting better. And I'm glad you recommended me a comic series that is now ended, so now I don't have to wait around for cliffhangers. I can just immediately read to the next issue until I'm done. And then I want to watch the TV show, but that Amazon Prime made, which I'm excited for, because I want to watch it. And my friend who recommended The Boys to me told me, he's like, this is incredibly different from the comics. Like, he treats them as like 2 total different entities of media, I guess, where the basic core concepts and kind of story arcs are there, but like everything else is different, which, it's fine. As long as it's interesting, as long as it's good. If they change it and it's like not as good, then it's like just do a full adaptation of the comics, because the comics are really good. I don't know. I think it's cool. I think there was some book that I don't remember where it was like horrible. I don't remember, but this is definitely what I was thinking about earlier, but this is what I'm thinking about now, where I saw a novelization of the Hobbit movie, of the first Hobbit movie, and that made me mad, because if you want a novelization of the Hobbit movie, of the first one, just read the Hobbit book, because those are much better, and those are the original, or that one's the original, and it's like, just read the Hobbit book. Why is this industry so greedy that it literally makes a movie based off a book, and then makes a book based off the movie that's based off a book? And it's just like, just buy the book. It makes no sense to me. The book is better. And it's like, just read about Bilbo freaking getting some gold from a dragon, while also finding the most important and iconic piece of jewelry ever to exist in media, I think. I mean, is there anything like that you can think of that is that iconic and is that important, and it's a piece of jewelry? Leave it down in the comments if you can think of something else, but currently I can only think of the ring. Like, that's the only thing I can think of that's like that iconic. Because it's like, that thing is, and it's like super powerful, and if you watch the movie, it's powerful, but especially if you've read the books, you're like, this thing is like, is basically God. Basically, it will make you God. Kind of. Well, it's not exactly like that, but it's kind of like that. And if you haven't watched the movies, get the director's cut, but sit down, because each one is like 3 hours long. So you might not want to watch them all in one day. Or if you don't want to spend 3 hours watching a movie, you can spend more time than that on reading the book. And there's actually some stuff that they had to cut. I want to say Tom Bombadil. I don't know if he's in the movie. There's a character where if they added it, that was in the first book, and if they added it to the movie, it would have made the movie like another hour longer. And that's insane. Like, one character they completely remove, and it removes like an hour of the movie. It's like, this character's important, obviously. Why remove him? But obviously you need to remove him to time constraints, and then if he's not that important to the main story, you still get the main story across. So I think that's important. Also, I realized that my podcasts aren't necessarily all that funny. It's just me rambling for 30 minutes to an hour. And I don't know if that's interesting, and I don't know, and I've been checking my analytics on YouTube, right? So, ow, I just poked myself in the eye. Like, my first 2 episodes, they go to, like, the 13-minute mark. And then my newest one goes to, like, the 6-minute mark. I don't know where I went wrong, but I also, I don't know. I just need to figure out how to YouTube, I guess, or YouTube long format like this, because I don't have no idea if this is interesting. And it's like, I don't know. And I know that I'm new, but it's discouraging because you're like, I just want to share myself. And I guess I am sharing myself, but I also want to get success. But I also think that success is probably not going to be happening a lot with a podcast, because usually you start off by building something else and then you start a podcast, right? So that people who want to know you a little bit better do, and then people who just are there for your YouTube videos, like 10-minute ones, then they can just do that. And then if they find you interesting, then they're like, oh, I can, this guy has a podcast, you know? And it's like, I don't know. I don't even know. I've been thinking about, like, why I started a podcast, because it's like literally everyone else has a podcast. And literally pretty much everyone who has a podcast has made it successfully on something. Like, and they handle their topic well. Like, mine is supposed to be entertainment and comedy and stuff, but then I end up thinking about, like, I'm not funny, and then I think I'd be funnier if I had, like, a co-host. But this quarantine thing got me real lonely, and I don't got one. But it's just like, I don't know. It's discouraging because it's like I didn't have a pre-existing platform that I could just tell people, hey, I have, a podcast, and that set me off pretty well. It's like I've posted it on Twitter, I think, and it's like, oh, it's like I got like one or two people listening to it from that, and it's like, I guess that's growth, but it's also like I just want to be, I guess, attention, maybe it's an attention thing, It's like I just want attention, so I think it's just cool to be successful, pretty much anything. It's like I think it'd be cool, and it's like, oh, I wouldn't have to work a day in my life, but especially if I became a YouTuber, I would have to edit, and that's complete work for me. Like, there's usually no fun in editing until like I end until it's done. Because then it's like I did this thing and it's done, and then I usually enjoy the product. Because usually it's my sense of humor if I'm editing it. So I'm like, hey, this is funny. So then it comes out, and I'm like, oh, this is cool, and great and awesome. And it's like, this is the thing that I like. I don't know. If you have any tips on how to be better at podcasting or YouTube or whatever, that's obviously much appreciated. But I've been trying to, like, look up things and watch videos, and it's like, I don't know. I'm not a good engager, I guess. Like, I guess I can talk to people forever. I can even talk to myself forever. Well, not forever, but I can talk to myself for, a decently long time. And it's like, it's like I want people to listen to me, I guess. But I think if I had a co-host, it'd be a lot easier because I'm more energetic around other people. Like, currently, it's like I know I'm not alone because you're watching this. But, like, your brain's still like you're alone because you're just talking. I'm basically just talking to myself, and it's those recordings somehow happen to be, or I guess, recorded. So it's like, I don't know, my brain still thinks I'm alone, so I'm not as energetic. And it's not that I'm fake around people, it's just I get more energy around people, I guess, most of the time. So it's like if I'm around someone, like if I was around my friends or whatever, it's like I would have to it's like I have to do that. It's like I forgot what I was talking about. If I'm around friends, then I'm more energetic, and it's like I think I'm funnier. And then especially if I'm in a conversation, I'm not the one who always has to constantly lead. And if I'm talking about things, then I'm not constantly getting confused because I'm just talking about things. So if it's a conversation, I can just talk to people, and I think that'd be easier. Maybe that'll be down the line. Maybe I'll do it eventually. I've had some people in mind. But one person I know goes to bed at 9 because he's apparently too old. He's an old teenager. I don't even know if he'd do this. and I have no idea if any of it would be interesting. I don't even know if this is interesting. I think it's fun, so I do it. God, I am freaking burning up. My room is a sauna. It is horrible. Like, if everything is closed, like, my room is burning up. Even if my fan is on, like, my windows pretty much constantly have to be open, or my door. And it's annoying because usually if I'm recording, I have to close both. And my windows are closed right now because, like I said, it was raining. I don't know if it still is because storms where I live basically stop and start on a dime. But it's like I have to leave them closed, and then my door is closed because I generally like it closed, and then also I don't want other outside noise from the house or other people to hear me and be like, oh, why is this guy talking to himself? I don't know. I heard a door closed. That means someone can listen to me. This is not good. This means someone has been listening to me this entire time. Oh, God. I have lost my train of thought, and now I have no idea what I'm talking about. Someone send help, please. Send help to recover my brain. My brain waves, they're fading fast. They're all dying. I don't know what's causing them to die, but my brain waves have been dying forever. And I think this is where I'm going to end it, because I seriously can't think of anything else. It's probably like 30 minutes or around there. I feel like they're getting shorter. But it's just like, I don't know. I should probably record them earlier, because it's like it was like 9, so either I'm like really energetic or I'm like super tired, and my eyes have been closing as I've been speaking. You probably have noticed. But it's like I'm just sitting here and like fading off into nothingness, and it's like, well, whatever. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for sticking around for episode 4. Yeah, it's episode 4. All right, talk to you later. Bye. Actually, wait, hold on. I need to do this. I need to engage my audience, right? If you liked it, remember to press like. If you want to comment something, please do. I got a comment on my last one, and it said, "Can we be friends?" And yes, we can. Just give me your mother's maiden name. Just email me, or actually send me a Twitter DM at Enola Tweets, and tweet me your full name, your mother's maiden name, your older sibling's middle name, your security code or social security code, and your bank PIN number. And yeah, we can be friends. But yeah, leave a comment, subscribe if you liked it, or like if you liked it. Do both. That would be nice. And I hope I can talk to you in the next one.